add water to do a mixture, and then you get to work. But this one is the best.
Okay.
And this one is the USG all-purpose. This one you'd have to add water and mix, whereas the next one is already mixed. So this one is just mud inside of the bucket, and also this one is more of a gray or off-white finish, and the next one is white.
So let persons know how they can get in contact with you all.
You can call us here on 605-9663.
Say it again.
605-9663.
There you have it, folks. The best deals in town for all of your needs. Capital Lumber, located on Parkgate Road. Thank you for joining us on Deals Crazy TV. I'm your host, Keishan. And if you would like to be a part of this amazing show, please phone us at 423-9993 or 463-7491. And you can email us at fourwaysmedia@gmail.com.
Freedom of speech protects our right to speak freely.
All I want to do is coach them and help them. Help boys become men. Fight.
We fight.
Fight.
We fight.
That does not exist, and no coach is going to change that fact.
Playing is against school policy. You're done. Go home.
I think I might need a lawyer.
They're playing for keeps. All you got is me.
Reality is, if you argue prayer, you lose.
You always taught us to play hard. It's time for you to fight and play hard.
Let's make history.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the murder count increases overnight. Diplomatic relations for the Bahamas and the Republic of Kenya. 22 schools gearing up for junior Junkanoo. And in sports, high school ballers back on the court. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jimenita Swain, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. The homicide count climbs to 15 after a fatal shooting overnight. The ordeal unfolding just after 8 p.m. in the Coconut Grove community. ZNS News was first on the scene. Our Lloyd Allen was there.
Police have reported the shooting incident of at least one person. At this time, his condition unknown as police conduct their initial investigations regarding this latest shooting. It was shortly after 8 p.m. Friday when the ZNS News team arrived to the area of West End Avenue and Market Street, where a frenzied crowd converged with investigating officers fresh on the scene. Those officers were identified moving a number of items, including a soiled shirt, along with other items believed the property of the victim, now confirmed dead. Now, according to the official report, the victim was standing on West End Avenue when the occupants of a white Japanese model vehicle approached and discharged multiple gunshots, resulting in the victim being shot multiple times. The 40-year-old man, according to police, received gunshot wounds to the upper torso, but died a short time later after arriving to the hospital. The shooting, according to officials, could have been much worse, as there were signs of stray bullets littered across an establishment with a number of apartments on its second floor. No injuries reported there. However, within hours, police have successfully located and retrieved the vehicle linked to the suspect on Stack Avenue, Nassau Village. The victim is being identified as a resident of the area, and anyone with additional information is encouraged to contact police at 502-999-12 or 3 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Now, police also seizing over 1,000 rounds of assorted ammunition, a firearm, and a large quantity of suspected marijuana Friday afternoon. Officers of the K-9 unit acting on intelligence conducting a search of $21,690. No arrests were made in connection with this incident. Investigations continue. Also on the crime beat, Under Garden Hospital is where a male suspect finds himself after stealing a car and crashing it Friday night. The theft would lead to at least one other car being damaged, along with a utility pole, which plunged residents into darkness. Work crews from Bahamas Power and Light spent much of Saturday morning replacing the damaged pole. Now, what police tell us is that around 10 last night, the suspect stole a gray 2016 Honda Fit from a church's parking lot in Grantstown before crashing it a short distance away. The suspect sustained serious injuries and was taken to hospital by EMS, where he remains in critical condition. Gang activity is largely believed to be deriving this uptick in deadly violence peppering our streets, and even as government assures robust anti-gang legislation is on the way, a reminder from the National Security Minister that this legislation won't be without its challenges. Wayne Monroe says an area being looked at is the seizing and forfeiture of the assets of those involved with gangs, but unlike other jurisdictions that have simpler tax regimes, nuances in our structure makes going this route here a bit more complicated.
Whenever we look at legislation, be it anti-gang in relation to how they identified the financial parts of it, we have to take care to tailor the provisions to fit this country.
The criminal justice system, the minister warns, will also face an uphill battle meeting the burden of proof in determining gang affiliation. Monroe says that's why crafting this particular legislation is being carefully looked at.
So the nature of the Bahamas is this. A bunch of us are related to each other, eh? So if you see us together and acting in concert, are you saying we're a criminal gang? And when you charge us with being a criminal gang, I say, well, that's just my cousin. That's my brother. So the question of burdens of proof, standards of proof, have to be looked at with regard to our particular circumstances.
Bimini police investigating a crash landing of an aircraft on Cat Key around 4:30 Friday afternoon. What we can tell you is that a white 1970 Aztec six-seater aircraft piloted by an adult male transporting 4 passengers departed from Grand Bahama en route to Cat Key. Police say upon arrival at the destination, the pilot encountered mechanical difficulties with the landing gear, resulting in a crash landing on the runway. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported during the incident. Investigations continue. Also making news tonight, the Bahamas and the Republic of Kenya formalizing diplomatic relations during the 19th non-aligned summit hosted by the Ugandan government. Minister of Immigration and National Insurance, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, and Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of Kenya, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, signed the communique. This event marks a significant step towards fostering deeper mutual understanding, cooperation, and collaboration between the two nations as a part of the Bahamas government's turn to sub-Saharan and South-South cooperation. Also to come in the weekend edition, the Junior Junkanoo Showdown, all set for Thursday of this week. The details of that and more after the break.
ESE Distributors, the #1 wholesale beauty supplier in the Bahamas, specializing in hair products, accessories, and makeup. A variety of skin lightening products, Keratin, Natural Bright, Pawpaw, and personal toiletries, like soaps, creams, lotion, and oils. Hair products like Got2b, Red One, and everything in the Morphos line. And lots of hair. Afro Kinky, 3X Ghana, crochet hair. We deliver and ship to the Family Islands. ESE Distributors, located on Soldier Road opposite NCA.
In the yellow elder garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the yellow elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her yellow elder costume. We are alive.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Thanks for staying with us. The youth and Tiny Tykes gearing up to showcase their talents at this year's Junior Junkanoo Parade on Bay Street come next week, Thursday. As you can imagine, anticipation is building, and Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, says the event will be spectacular.
The 2024 New Province Junior Junkanoo Parade will be a fantastic one. There are 22 schools involved. 4 preschools, 7 primary schools, 2 junior schools, 4 senior schools, 3 all-age schools, and 2 community youth groups. Seed fundings and supplies was given to each school to facilitate their participation in this year's parade in the amounts of $1,500 for preschool, $2,000 for primary schools, $3,000 for junior schools, and $4,000 for senior schools and all-age schools.
Sol Petroleum Bahamas donating $50,000 to this year's parade. For more than 3 decades, the company has demonstrated its commitment to the annual festival.
We would like to express our gratitude to each school, student, parent, and supporter of Junior Junkanoo. Your unwavering commitment ensures the preservation of something intrinsically Bahamian for generations to come. As we approach the 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade, we extend our best wishes to all participants and reaffirm our commitment to the holistic development of our nation's youth and cultural heritage.
Scotiabank Bahamas Limited has become the official bank for the Junior Junkanoo Parade, teaming up with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and the National Junkanoo Committee. The sponsorship agreement announced Friday at the bank's Bay Street Corporate Center and welcomed by Culture Minister the Honorable Mario Boleg, Scotiabank Managing Director Roger Archer, and National Junkanoo Committee Chairman Warren Pinder.
When you look at what Scotiabank is doing with the development of Junkanoo through Junior Junkanoo, every corporate sponsor that comes on board and assists us with developing these young people and diverting them from the life of crime, but putting them in positive activities, we got to understand Scotiabank, the dollar value.
What we see is important is being part of the fabric of the Bahamas, part of the culture of the Bahamas. And when you talk about Junkanoo, Junkanoo is the Bahamas.
Scotiabank has answered. They've answered the call and brought hope.
In other news, after countless years, members of Epiphany Anglican Church in Eastern New Providence are delighted their rebranded edifice has been dedicated. Alvis Munnings has more.
With gratitude for this building, we are now gathered to dedicate it in God's name. Amen.
The dedication service of the Anglican Church of the Epiphany began with a blessing of the church walls with water. Then the dedication of the windows and doors, the roof, the lights, the pulpit, the stained glass windows, and other significant valuables of the church. This Anglican congregation has waited 10 years for this moment. It was in November 2014 when construction on the transformation of the Epiphany Church started. It was guided by financial support pouring in over the years. And in the words of the building committee chairman and priest warden, Glenn Ritchie, this dedication is an extraordinary moment.
It is a new edifice to the glory and to the honor of God. And it's a representation of the commitment and the dedication from all members involved in this through all the programs who have participated, past and present, in the Anglican Church of the Epiphany.
The good news from contractor Scorpio Evans is the church has now expanded to seat 600 people.
We pack and we pack and we pack, and as you can see here, we have now reached near completion. There's still a little bit more work to be done, but to the grace of God, we'll get it done in a short time. Hopefully, when we have our 35th anniversary, that we will be able to have a complete edifice at this time.
The dedication of the Anglican Church of the Epiphany marks the start of a new year full of new possibilities. Anglican Diocesan Bishop, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd's message to the church: always keep the faith.
At times like this, call us to have faith in God, to trust Him, to depend upon Him, but also to obey Him. But these times call us to have faith.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
The country prayed together. We rolled out the red carpet for the arrival of an iconic vessel, celebrations for a legendary institution, and happy returns. It's all covered in this week's Rewind with our Corval Pyfram.
This week started off with a nation coming together in an evening of prayerful restoration. Political, religious, community leaders and people from everywhere uniting in powerful faith, praying an end to the carnage and a return to peace.
Father, we come standing in the gap on behalf of our families, oh God. God, we stand right now reclaiming our families from the hands of the enemy. God, we will not allow our children to be cast by the wayside.
A first call as Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Sea makes her maiden voyage to Nassau's cruise port. It's the largest ship in RCI's fleet and among the largest in the world.
It's a great day for Royal Caribbean, but a magnificent day for Nassau Cruise Port and the Bahamas.
And a pretty special moment for students of R.M. Bailey selected to perform at the grand festivities. QC this year is celebrating 134 years as Comet Country. The celebrations, we are told, have only just begun. And weekends around here have never looked better. Our Jiminita Swain, who has been gone for far too long, is back at the desk this weekend, and we couldn't be happier. We are smiling big this weekend and hope you are too, because a smile helps lighten the load, and it never cost a thing. Welcome back, Jimmy. We are thrilled to have you back. I'm Corval Pyfram for the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition.
Well, former ZNS employee Ricardo Mott laid to rest today. Funeral services were held at the Church of God of Prophecy, Elizabeth Estates, with interment following at the Old Trail Cemetery. Formerly of Low Sound Andros, Ricardo passed on Christmas Day at the Princess Margaret Hospital following a long illness. A long-serving employee here at the corporation, he worked in master control prior to retiring several years ago due to his illness. He's survived by his wife Charlene, children, and grandchildren. May his soul rest in peace.
You know that duck eggs are more nutritious than chicken eggs? Well, today we're going to meet a couple who specializes in duck egg production. I'm Leah Cooper, and this is Good to Grow.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
But they're not just your average backyard farmers. These two have been able to develop a niche in duck egg production that has quite a number of locals flocking to their doorstep. An operation they've named Beat and Teach Farm.
My name is Kiaj McKenzie.
I'm Shantice McKenzie.
This is my wife.
He's my husband.
And we are some of your young local farmers. We were into chickens before, and we wanted to see what we would be able to do with the ducks. One of the things that we initially noticed was that the ducks are a more hardy bird, so they're less susceptible to diseases, parasites, and things of that nature.
So what's so special about duck eggs in comparison to chicken eggs?
When you talk about omega-3 and fatty acids and stuff like that, good cholesterol. This is all included in the duck egg. If you speak to persons who bake, the duck egg is a more dense egg, and so you would see a significant difference in the use of the duck egg compared to the chicken egg.
Mackenzie also tells us what the feedback has been from their customers.
We had a number of persons who tried it for the first time, and they became consistent customers, which is a good thing. We had persons who say, hey, it was a little strong for them, or it was a little thicker than they used to. But all in all, it wasn't bad reception. It was positive reviews. We were glad that persons caught on to it.
And from producing these duck eggs, Mackenzie says they've been able to tap into a delicacy in the Asian market.
So it's something they call balut. What it is the development of the embryo in the duck egg. And so we'd allow them to sit on the egg. They brood the egg, and once that happens, within a 15, 16-day period, we collect the eggs, and that's a specialty dish for them. You know, they look at it and they consider it an aphrodisiac.
Now it was time to get to work. We began by collecting the duck eggs. Then it was time to feed the ducks, who, by the looks of it, seemed eager to eat.
And then some in the middle. Right out. Push it. Throw it. Yeah, throw it. Don't worry about that. That's okay.
And finally, it was time to see what all the hype was about surrounding these duck eggs. The Mackenzies fired up the stove and allowed us to make a duck egg breakfast burrito.
Bread egg is just like the chicken egg. I really don't taste the difference.
That's what we tell people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you season whatever you season, you can make duck taste like chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would eat this. I would eat duck eggs. Tastes just like chicken to me.
Mackenzie also shared with us the plans he and his wife has for the future of Beat and Teach Farm.
How persons understand that this domesticated bird can be readily available to anybody. That would be a second part of our venture, which would be the meat. But at this time, it's just getting persons to understand that there isn't that much of a difference. There are other means of eggs that you can consume and that are still delicious while also being healthy. It would be my vision, because our kids, they are workers, and we were fortunate enough to send our workers to school today. So it will be our vision for them to continue to grow, learn what they could learn, and be able to pass that on to their generation.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Saturday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports with the Carifta Swimming Championships and 2024 World Relays right around the corner. Upgrades to some of the country's premier sporting facilities, a hot topic around the water cooler right now. Rightfully so. The country's Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture giving the media an update on the ongoing works and how close they are to completion.
Well, I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks we'll have a tour with the media persons to see the level we have reached that since we started the repairs. The repairs are going quite well. I know all of the equipment that needed to be on the ground to ensure that the pool is ready for competition is here. And so I think in another 4 to 6 weeks we should see the pool almost back in condition where we can start seeing the impressive work that has been done by the contractor. Same thing relates to the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. As you can see, both the roofs on the eastern and western grandstand has been removed. We are about to move those support systems now, and in short order we'll be putting that up. And right now, according to Ministry of Works and the contractors, we seem to be somewhat on schedule for the preliminary events that will take place prior to the World Relays and the swim Carifta.
In hoops action, Teachers State basketball picking back up over at the Donald Davis Gymnasium. First up on the girls' side, the C.B. Bethel Stingrays would stay undefeated, taking the Anatole Rogers Lady Timberwolves to task. Final score in this one, 108-8. Trinity Bodie had 32 points. Gowning Bethel chipped in with 24, and Rokara Beetle added 23.
expectations is to come out, take every game serious. First and foremost is control our turnovers and pick up our defense.
On the boys' side, a bit of a role reversal in this one, as this time Anatol would come out on top. The senior boys team would continue to look like a serious contender, as they would handle the CB Bethel Stingrays pretty easily. Led by 20 points from Derek Francis, they would cruise to an 86-50 win. From the association, our Bahamian NBA superstars facing off last night. Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers taking on DeAndre Ayton and the Portland Trail Blazers. Ayton would score 12 points, going 6 of 15 from the field, with 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 assist across 30 minutes of play, as the Blazers would win 118-115. Ayton was back in action for the first time since December 23rd after an extended absence due to left knee tendonitis. As for Buddy Buckets, he would pour in 18 points with 7 assists and 6 rebounds in 36 minutes of play. The Bahamas Bodybuilding, Fitness, and Wellness Federation set to hold its new election of officers, a process they hope will help chart the course of the body over the next calendar year.
The elections are open to existing members, athletes, and officials and judges. And at this time, too, we would like to welcome anyone out there who feel as though they would like to be a part of the Federation, either as an athlete or run for one of the positions that we will have up for grabs in the election. So we're basically looking to elect persons to serve in the position of president, vice president, executive secretary, and treasurer.
And that's a look at your sports on this Saturday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimanita. We have cloudy skies, temperature at 74 degrees following a frontal passage. We have winds out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,018.7 millibars. That is 30.08 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Valles this evening. Marshall, Abaco, 69 also in Green Turkey in Abaco. Freeport, Grand Bahama at 69 degrees. DeBerry Island, 72. Allenstown, Bimini at 71 degrees. 74 over in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 76. 74 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. In Kemp's Bay, South Andros, they have a temperature of 76 degrees. Also, Black Point, Exuma at 76. Allenstown, Cat Island, 77. San Salvador and Rumkey at 77. Georgetown, Exuma, 1 degree up at 78 degrees. 79s in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, McCorner, 82. 82 in Acklands, Matthewtown, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Our boating forecast tonight through tomorrow, you can anticipate north to northeast winds around 15 to 20 knots. Those wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, so caution flags are in place for the northwest Bahamas through tomorrow. Now, your first low tide, that will take place at 9:42 tonight. The second low tide at 10:52 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands through Sunday, northeast winds even stronger at 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So we have an advisory in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands through tomorrow. And then a satellite picture showing we still have some mid to high level clouds over the northwest Bahamas, but that is slowly moving towards the southeast, so we can anticipate some clearing later on tonight. And by Tuesday, we will see lots of sunshine work its way back into our forecast. Tonight, clouds breaking, but very windy, 76 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, the windy conditions will continue to be less humid with a few low clouds still floating around. Temperature tomorrow, 72 degrees, and your extended weather forecast unfolding like this. We'll keep a bit of cloud in the mix through Monday, but thereafter, the sun comes out on Tuesday, and that will hold for the balance of the week, taking us into the weekend. And those temperatures, well, they're going to sink into the 60s. We'll see our lowest temperature tomorrow night at about 61 degrees, and then start to climb on Monday, 65, and then we get back into those 70s on Tuesday, and those low 70s will continue for the balance of the week. Jimenita.
Thanks, Basil, and that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. But before we go, we want to send a special happy birthday to our very own Melissa Lockhart, who is celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Melissa. So we thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.